I'm saying this because I believe these conversations need to be had. It's just the reality of how a lot of us were raised and taught to believe. And I feel like there needs to be a coming together of identities, right? So, yes, trying to traverse your ethnic identity and incorporate that with the American identity and culture and ideals and beliefs, but having it also come together to create your Black identity and relating to that and having an understanding of that, so you don't feel like you're an other in that identity and in that culture, but you feel like you're a part of it and that you feel connected to it, and that there isn't this separation with you and other people who don't identify as the same ethnic identity as you, that you can feel like you two are connected even though you don't have the same proximity to your ethnic origin. Because at the end of the day, we all have the connection to our ethnic background. Like, that's there, that's real. But some people have a closer connection to it than others, right? Because there's people who have come straight from the soil to this land that we called US, and we're all here. But this is all not our homes. This is all not the place that we were supposed to be in. Our native land, the native soil, the native space that we were meant to be in. So we all have that in common. It's the proximity to our ethnic backgrounds that separate us. So keeping that in mind when we have certain conversations, I think will help us connect to each other and help us remember how much more alike we are than different. Because that ultimately is how we stay in the collectivist mindset, how we can have the way in which we connect with each other and have each other's back in a way that we are not used to, because of the separation that has been created and almost this delineation of who is better than or shows up in a better way than the other. But if we all understand who we are, rooted in who we are, then that collectivism between Black Americans and immigrant Americans can be a beautiful meshing. It can be a beautiful thing where we all are working together to elevate ourselves as a whole, the Black race as a whole. That's what I want. That's what I want for the communities, because again, it took a lot for me to realize how similar we are. Yes, we are different. And yes, my ethnicity is important to me. However, yes, there is sameness, and yes, there is power in that sameness, and there's advantages to that sameness, and there's so much that we can do with that sameness that can drive us to a different place that we may have not been for decades, if not centuries. You picking up what I'm putting down? So I hope that thought process and that thought process and the way that I'm describing it has you thinking some things. So yeah, that's for me what I want, and that's what I hope to see. And I think this generation of immigrant children have the ability to make that happen. I think we have so much more awareness and so much more openness to having these conversations than generations prior, and we've learned so much more and understand how to navigate so much more than generations prior. So I feel like this generation right here, like the millennials of the second gen population, is what's really going to make this happen. So I don't know what we have to do. We have to do some kind of conference, some type of something to start these conversations, because for me, like, I think back to how I've felt in the past about this competition that was almost there, to learning things on my own, to how I feel now, and how much I want to do to bring that togetherness and really help us understand who we are as a unit. Like as a unit, and still have the ability to talk about the different things and share the different things that make us unique, but understand who we are as a unit. Like, I want that. I really do. So I can go on, but yeah, that's where I'm at with that. But thank you so much for just listening to really my free thoughts in this episode, because I didn't even have an outline. I was just thinking out loud. So if you have any input on this conversation and you understand where I'm coming from, or don't understand where I'm coming from, respectfully, go ahead and let me know on the YouTube channel. Comment what you're thinking about this conversation, because I want to hear other people's thoughts. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Surviving Second Gen. I will see you all in the next one.